Hello and welcome to another video about cryptocurrency. In this video, I'd like to talk about Algorand. Why do I want to talk about Algorand? Well, I believe the project has potential, and it is a project that I covered in my previous videos a few times. I mentioned it, and I also have been asked by a few of you guys to make a video on Algorand, and one person actually said that Algorand has a lot more to offer than, for example, Cardano, and I want to talk about that as well. And yeah, I would like to cover it before the price jumps up. I believe the price will jump up, even though not as radically as, for example, Cardano, I believe. But we will get to that. I want to talk about what does Algorand actually do. So Algorand is a blockchain project and a blockchain that has its own blockchain that actually focuses on these three issues here. So from their vision has been to focus on this blockchain trilemma and to solve it, to make sure that speed, decentralization, and security can be achieved at the same time. So these are the things that some other blockchains have problems with, like Bitcoin, which is decentralized and safe, but not fast, or Ripple XRP, which is fast and safe, but not very decentralized. Bear in mind, not every blockchain wants to be decentralized. Ripple XRP, they've never really focused on that. They never wanted to be that, but that's another topic. It is still a problem to get all three of these sorted. And Algorand, with their innovative technology, they have actually managed to do that. So the technology behind Algorand is really good. It is working. Smart contracts are running. DApps are running, even though they are not too popular, I must say. And the team behind Algorand is really good as well. So we've got here some really high profile people from the crypto world. We've got Silvio Micali, who has a really popular name or important name. He's like the go-to person in the area of cryptography. He's won, I think, 4 international awards, and there are a lot of academics in the team. And while that doesn't necessarily mean a lot for the success of a project, even though it could help if these people come from, the area of cryptography, but it doesn't really mean a lot in the crypto world itself, but it can help to attract funding. And it can help to get investors to invest and to maybe help with talks and negotiations with countries. Now that has helped shows that they've actually been working on a CBDC together with the Marshall Islands, which is a country, a small country though, but they actually plan to implement their first CBDC, central bank digital currency, and this makes Algorand unique. While other cryptocurrency projects are in talks with governments as well, I believe, this really has been confirmed, and it gives Algorand really the first mover advantage. And having a first mover advantage means everything in the crypto world. You know that with Ethereum. Ethereum doesn't have a superior technology, but it had the first mover advantage. So many DApps and projects were built on the Ethereum blockchain and ecosystem. So that gives them an advantage. My view is now, if that is successful with the Marshall Islands, if other countries observe that, see that, countries want to build their own CBDCs, but they don't have the experts. No way they can do that themselves. So they have to go into the crypto world and to find these people who can do that. And if there is already a successful example with Algorand and the Marshall Islands, there is a chance that other countries will talk to Algorand as well. So that gives them. This really is, for me, why one of the main reasons that they have so much potential. First of all, it's their technology, which works. Yes, smart contracts work and everything. It's very reliable. It is very fast. And also they've partnered, or they're working with the Marshall Islands on a CBDC, which is a future technology. If you like it or not, it is something that will happen, right? So that is happening, this introduction of CBDCs. And even though it will take a while, it is coming, and countries need to find these projects or companies or organizations that can work with them to help them develop their CBDCs. They've also partnered, or they work with the SIAE, a big organization that is working in the space of copyright and rights management. And also they are involved in some way in the implementation of 5G, the 5G network, which is another future technology. There are a lot of applications, a lot of partnerships, but the problem with Algorand is that they don't have very, very popular DApps, right? So that is still missing. Really popular DApps are missing, and the community is also very small, unfortunately. And I think that has been holding Algorand back. They have really focused a lot here on the technology and everything, but the importance of community work has been underestimated. So that is what Cardano is doing really well, engaging with the community. They've built this huge community, which we are part of as well. I mean, this is mainly a Cardano channel, but that is really very important. Even though, for example, a project doesn't have necessarily the best technology, but if the community is strong and is backing it and will use smart contracts that are built on that blockchain, that helps so much with adoption. And adoption these days is everything. So as I said, they have a lot of partnerships and everything. For example, one partnership, they've recently partnered with a company that works on tokenizing property, so houses. So you could own a part of a house, and that is then secured on the Algorand blockchain. So that is just one example. They are also aiming to become a key project in the in the DeFi space and also in the centralized finance space. So they want to facilitate payment systems like Ripple, XRP, and they are working on NFTs as well. So a lot of NFTs have already been launched on the Algorand blockchain. So this is working, the technology is working, and the key advantage here is also that it's fast. Transactions are really nearly instantaneous, whereas I believe it take a bit longer on Cardano, for example, where I think they take between 20 seconds and 5 minutes, even though it's oftentimes faster than 5 minutes. But Algorand is really nearly instantaneously. That is a huge advantage and opens some new and interesting use cases and might make Algorand quite interesting for certain projects. But let's take a look at the price here. So we can see here on CoinMarketCap when it is actually launched in 2019, we can see that the price, I think the original price for the public sale was set at 250, but we can see that the price dropped huge. Very similar to the ICP, Definity Internet Computer, even though it was much more radical with Definity. But the price, the price still dropped from around 250 to around 13 cents, or pretty much. So huge drop. So of course investors were furious. So they actually had two buyback schemes running, where the investors that bought the initial 25 million coins, they sold them back to Algorand for 90% of the price. So that really didn't help with community work. And one reason for that was that the initial price was quite high, and there was a huge difference between the initial private sale that people could buy them, before the actual public launch date. So that price was really low. So everybody who bought privately instantly made money or sold these coins when the public launch was, and that caused the price to drop. And also there were not sufficient public coins launched in their initial sale in the beginning. So there was not enough for people to buy anyway. And also the timing was quite bad. It wasn't the most popular time of the market. So that let the price all drop, and that didn't really help. So over the years, they tried to buy back some coins and everything. But one key problem that we have with Algorand is that there are still, I believe, coins locked for the initial private investors. And they are locked until prices go up. And when prices go up, they are allowed to sell some of these. And that means when prices go up, they really sell them, which keeps prices down. That is the first problem. The other problem is that too many coins are issued on a monthly basis. Too many coins are listed. I think Algorand themselves, they are selling coins from their portfolio to help fund the project. But it doesn't help either, because they only sell, again, when the prices go up. So that's a problem. They are not allowed to sell when prices go down, but they are allowed to sell when prices go up. So that keeps prices artificially down. So it is, in a sense, inflationary, which isn't great. There's also only 30% of all coins, roughly 30% of all coins issued in circulation. So 70% are still to come over the next 8 years until 2030. So in 2030, 10 billion coins will be on the market. But even now we see problems with inflation, and prices just are not going up. So it is, in a sense, not the best tokenomics, which doesn't make it the most popular coin. Because if you think that most of the supply is still coming, and we're already struggling to see prices creep up, so that investors can be rewarded, that is a problem. That makes it less popular, doesn't help with adoption, and that is most likely going to take place until 2030 to some degree, even though at a later stage the issuing of new coins will slow down. But yeah, at the moment it's not great, I must say, especially because there is not a lot of demand for the there's not enough demand for the coins in comparison to how many are issued, and that doesn't help. So it keeps the prices down, but my hope for this project is, and that is the first mover advantage in terms of CBDCs, and also the technology, which is really good and fast, and also that dApps are already running, NFTs, and as I said, the CBDC knowledge. So I believe from a fundamental point of view, there are a lot of things. It's a serious project, has a really, really good team, a really good technology, but the tokenomics are poor. Yeah, that's the key problem. And that hasn't helped with community adoption. That hasn't helped with just making people more aware and interested in the project. So we've seen the all-time high, well, sort of when it was issued, but then the all-time high took place this year in February, actually. Since then, it's been sort of dropping on a downtrend, and now we are here. So take a look at, I believe we are gonna see another upswing this year, but I am not heavily invested. So I've invested a little bit because I just want to be involved in this when there really this first mover advantage in CBDCs materializes. And as soon as people understand that Algorand has a really good technology, that might really change things for this project. And as I said, I haven't invested a lot, only a little bit, but I just want to participate if things go good. And if things don't go well, I still believe we are at a good price now, and it might take a bit longer for prices to go up because of the inflation of the coin. But let's see what's going to happen. Now, what I've in this chart here, I've actually overlaid the Cardano chart, which is the orange one here, and the Algorand chart, which is the line chart, the bar chart here. So what we can see is actually that Cardano has seen this huge jump. We can see these two bottoms, so this double bottom sort of here, or actually triple bottom here, and we could see that with Cardano as well. And then Cardano and Algorand have gone a very similar route, actually. Yeah, slight upswing maybe, yeah, sideways movement. But then Cardano has gained traction also because of these smart contracts move. And now Algorand doesn't have that. But I believe they have a lot to catch up. In the same way as before that upswing happened here, I told you that Cardano has a lot to catch up on Ethereum. In the same way now, I think Algorand has a lot to catch up, even though maybe not to the same degree because what I said about tokenomics. But I still believe we will see that upswing at some point. That's my view. You can obviously come to your own conclusion and let me know in the comments if you believe the same will happen. But I believe it will, and that is why I bought some Algo coins. And I just want to participate when that happens. As I said, if it doesn't happen, not a problem for me, because I bought before at a similar price, and I'm not worried. I think long term the project has a lot of potential, but it is not, there are too many risks for me to invest more, because Cardano will launch their smart contracts. It's just much more popular, and I'm not sure where all this CBDC stuff is going. But still, I think it's a good project, really good team, and I think they know what they're doing. So I have invested. We can also see here that the yellow line is still above the current price action, so the 200-day moving average, that is, where Cardano has already moved beyond on the Cardano chart. I'm just going to delete that. But Cardano has already moved beyond the 200-day moving average on their own chart. However, that's why I said Algorand still has a lot to catch up. And at some point, that boost will happen. And I want to be prepared. We also see the, zoom in, we can see the 20-day moving average just having had a bullish crossover with a 50-day moving average here. So that's a good sign. They will act as support, and they've been acting as support here. So that's always good. That's sort of driving the price up as well. We can see some volume coming in as well. And we're not in overbought territory. That tells me as well that in contrast to some of the other cryptocurrencies which are in overbought territory, this one isn't. And it could mean that Should we see a slight correction with other cryptos? I'm not sure, but it might be that people will realize that there are some cryptos which have a lot of potential. However, they are not overbought yet. So there might be scope to move some of their funds into Algorand, for example, or Tether was the other one I talked about. So these are projects I've invested some money in that I think have a lot of potential, especially long term. I don't expect any short term major gains, but I want to hold for the long term. So this is still for grabs at under $1. So the MACD is looking positive and bullish as well. So I think very soon we'll see something here. And I want to be prepared, which is why I bought a little bit. Let me know what you think about Algorand. Let me know if I was wrong with anything. But in summary, I think that Cardano is, for me, miles away from Algorand in terms of it's better. Cardano has done much more community work, and that means a lot. Cardano doesn't have the first mover advantage, but there are already many more dApps planned and will be running on Cardano that are more popular. And the community just means so much, I think, in this world and this space. And Cardano also works with governments, not necessarily in the terms of CBDC, but I believe Cardano wouldn't want that. But yeah, Algorand and Cardano, they have slightly different focus points. So whereas Algorand wants to focus more on also centralized finance and decentralized finance and NFTs and CBDCs, Cardano is more engaged in doing community work as well, improving the world really in terms of also the social aspect. Like, for example, those digital identities in Africa and things like that. And that makes me, that's what I really like. And that's why I focus so much on Cardano. But as I said, let me know what you think about Algorand. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please smash the like button. And if you want to follow me on this crypto journey, please subscribe. Thanks a lot for watching and see you in the next video. Bye.